This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at SEMDA, the Southeastern Medical Device Association 2014 conference here in Atlanta, Georgia. I have with me the conference chair of this conference, Angela Sinton of SEMDA, and she's the Director of Strategic Development. Angela, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for coming back. We always love having you, Shelley.
It's wonderful to be back.
Good.
So tell our audience, what happens at SEMDA?
Well, SEMDA, the Southeastern Medical Device Association, is a nonprofit organization that had a vision 10 years ago of bringing together all the resources for entrepreneurs, investors, physician inventors, people with concepts that have great medical products, great medical modeled companies that needed to be funded to bring technology into the market to ultimately reach the patient. So that is how we began as an organization.
And then you started these conferences.
And then 3 years later, actually 2 years later, some bold individuals before me thought, why don't we do a conference? And they did. And every year we've continued to grow and grow and grow. And this year we've broken all records up to now. So we're pretty excited.
So when it comes to the SEMDA reach, how vast is that reach in the southeastern area of the United States of America?
Really good question. The majority of our membership and sponsorship is in Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama. We have some in Virginia, some in Mississippi, and occasionally someone creeps in from Louisiana and Texas or up to Washington, D.C. But the southeastern corner, because what most people don't know is that as a region, the Southeast is about the 5th largest medical device market in the United States. So when we collaboratively came together, we were a dominant player. And that was a big driving factor to bringing SEMDA together so that we could support our group in the manner that you see on the West Coast, in the Northeast, and Minneapolis.
So if you had to guesstimate,
Yes.
how many individuals there are in that, let's call it ecosystem,
Sure.
just to stay with it these days.
Got it.
How many do you think that number would be?
Well, SEMDA directly has about 5,000 direct contacts within our group that we work with. They're either investors, they are in the medical device industry, or they are our sponsors, which are a lot of the service providers that support these companies. We have spent the past 2 years working a lot with our affiliate groups. And within our affiliate groups, our reach goes to about 30 to 50,000, depending on what we're doing and which target audience we're focusing on. But what we're very excited about this year is that SEMDA has become more than an Atlanta club, more than a Georgia club, more than just a Southeastern organization. We've now become nationally recognized. And because of that, through MDMA and the AdvaMed Association, we've built great relationships. They've brought us into their networks. So our total global reach is between 150,000 and 200,000 individuals in the United States. And I have a great story to tell you, Shelley.
Well, we got all day, so don't worry.
It was last night we had John Bardis, who is the founder, president, and CEO of MedAssets. And MedAssets is here in the Southeast. They're actually in Alpharetta, Georgia. And there are 5,000 hospitals in the United States, and he's in 4,000 of them. He's a great startup story. However, you would think that we would never tell him something new that would get him excited. Our conference this year was promoted in Times Square on the billboard for 24 hours. It was just unbelievable. And it happened to have his photo. It says SEMDA Gala 2014, May 7th and 8th. And it had this large photograph of our keynote speaker and his name. I told him he blew up pretty well at 2 stories high. So we actually were in Times Square, which is right in the middle of the financial district, which is what all of these people need in order to get their technologies to the patients.
Well, now it's time for me to laud you and congratulate you.
Oh, good heavens.
When we come to conferences, we see beehives of activity normally.
Yes.
This event, I see these entrepreneurs with these cherry blossom eyes.
Yes.
You know, they're wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. They have
right.
so much energy.
That's right.
And you honor them. You honor them. You give them access,
Yes,
which
we
is
do.
big. And you also give awards for excellence.
Yes, we do.
So I think that part and parcel of what SEMDA does, the work that you do, increases the awareness of the population and gives them an incentive to keep developing all of these devices that help humankind. So you're supporting a market, you're supporting the developers, and you're bringing new products to market, which somehow or another SEMDA has to get credit for helping that.
Well, thank you. Actually, this year we've added something new to our program, and we're calling it Vignettes, but it is our personal SEMDA success stories. And for example, yesterday, Civatech was here. 2 years ago, they were a presenting company looking for funds. Today, they are in clinical trials, they have a real business, they have employees, and I'm not sure where they are with market, but I seem to think at least a product is at market. It's just 2 years ago. But we have 4 of those success stories, and one of them is very large. It's a big story. So we're now being able, it's one thing for me to promote SEMDA, it's another for someone else who's been a participant to come back and say, this is the value that I found from SEMDA, and they'd rather hear from them than me any day. So I think that it's been a lot of fun. And yes, we do recognize and reward those in the industry who are making contributions, because what best thing I could hear at the end of last night, because it was a long day, we started early, it went late, is for the first time ever, we have a headline sponsor. Our headline sponsor is UPS, and I'm not saying this just to plug them, though I'm happy to. They're sponsoring us for the whole year, and it's the UPS Healthcare Division. And of course, their logistics is what gets our products from the manufacturer to the hospital to the patient. So they're all a part of the process. But they had 3 tables at the gala last night, and the senior gentleman there came up to me, and I was thanking them, and they actually were thanking us. And I said, what is it that made you want to participate with us? And he said, basically, it's the passion. Your organization, an organization of volunteers, and it took 45 of those volunteers, by the way, to put this conference together, is passionate about what they do. We're of the industry, we're of the space. I actually came from inside the medical device industry. I was a C-level executive, others were investors, others were developers, but everyone has a passion for the entrepreneur, and they have a passion for healthcare. And almost everyone you speak to, if you really peel the apple or peel the onion down, you get to the core, and the core of it is that almost all of us have a family story to tell that had something to do with someone they loved that had an illness or an injury that could not be resolved. And for myself, it was my father who had his first heart attack when I was 6 years old. So I grew up constantly aware that there was a medical issue in my home. I began my career in the cardiothoracic space in medical devices. I spent 20 years there. I started when I was 6. And so all of us come from a passionate place to begin with. And I think that is what drives the organization, truly. It's a long answer, sorry.
So no. So now passionately give me your website.
Our website is www.semda.net. And even if you're not sure that you want to be a member yet or a sponsor, go on, register, click the box just to get our communications. We have a great newsletter every 6 weeks, They come from the experts, and we hope we're bringing them great value.
Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Sinton, SEMDA, S-E-M-D-A. She's the Director of Strategic Development and the Conference Chair 2014. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNN Live, and we're coming to you live from SEMDA, the Southeastern Medical Device Association 2014 conference, right here in lovely Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks, Angela.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here.
Anytime.